Howdy, folks. While I know that Thanksgiving has nothing to do with Southern or Texan heritage, even though myself, I'm not Texan, but my family comes from Texas, I have no idea why I'm going on and explaining my ancestry. But yeah, it is Thanksgiving Eve. I'm not sure if that's even really a thing. I've heard it before, but I'm still not sure if it's a thing. But yeah, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So if you're watching this, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Obviously, everyone has different sides that they take. As far as I'm concerned, Thanksgiving is what it was intended for, which is a day for everyone to come together and give thanks for, the being in this land of freedom per se. And, just to be thankful for everything that you have, your family, your health, just whatever it is, cat, dog, frog, whatever you are thankful for, please take time to give thanks, regardless of how you may feel about what history may have transpired on the day of Thanksgiving. By the way, the day of Thanksgiving has absolutely nothing to do with the story of Thanksgiving. Like completely unrelated in terms of a day. You know how Christmas is supposedly the day of the birth of, Jesus Christ. And that's the tie. Regardless of if you dispute what day Jesus was born, totally different. The point that I'm making, which is not very good, is that the day of the actual first Thanksgiving has no tie to the day in which we celebrate Thanksgiving, which is always on the last Thursday of November. I don't know why it took so long to get to that point, but anyway, we're going to look at an We're going to look at an architectural marvel located in, what is it? In the land in which first Americans settled on the eastern coast of outer New York. So we're going to look at something that is supposedly abandoned, and I'm not even quite sure, why it's abandoned. I mean, the place looks amazing. Probably a little scary for some people, but I mean, it looks amazing. It's definitely a work of art. It kind of reminds me of not quite falling water. If you don't know what falling water is, please do yourself a favor and go look at that house. It is a historical landmark. Definitely a place that I will visit. I'll definitely visit. I'll probably, do some sort of trip to make my way there. But yeah, it is very beautiful, very natured. And the fact that it's an hour out of New York is kind of insane. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and check this out, and that way I can stop talking because I'm not making a whole lot of sense right now. But I love you. Here we go. By the way, Architectural Digest,
I wanted to make sure that the materials,
these videos are amazing. Like, I found so many
character of
their
house
videos. Like,
was
I could
responsive to the site.
watch
it's
these.
not often that you're building on top of a 40-foot tall stone wall.
I could watch these like all day and get nothing absolutely done.
Hi, I'm Stephen Harris.
Hello, Stephen.
I am the architect of the Bedford Quarry House.
Wonderful.
It is within an hour of New York, but it feels like you could be in Montana.
In Montana, man,
This was a
Montana is a
functioning
beautiful
quarry.
place.
feldspar, rose quartz, things
Wow.
of that sort. The reason the quarry was abandoned was because they hit water. Many architects prefer working on nice, flat, buildable sites. I'm much more interested in difficult sites. I looked at it as this extraordinary
sites?
geological
Like that's his
opportunity, and the fact that it had so much water in it, and the vegetation and the trees were so beautiful.
It's
When
amazing.
the owners found the site, there was a house on it. It was
wow.
a very different house, and to be charitable, it had had a bit of deferred maintenance. We started over.
That means it was a
We
crap
worked very
hole.
hard to figure out how
completely
the owner
neglected.
actually lives. It's a young family, and you're figuring out the site, where the light is, where the wind is, how things operate over the course of the day.
So this place wasn't abandoned
Almost
because
50
this
years
doesn't look
ago,
abandoned at all.
The man in
So
the class
he's-
ahead of mine at Princeton had
the
written a
home that was
thesis
abandoned was
called
what was there before.
Psychoanalysis and the
Okay,
Place of
not
Arrival.
quite clickbait.
Was that the
but
process
clickbait.
of moving from one condition
I gotta get
to
better at
another,
clickbait.
one can parse and divide
nobody's-
into
okay, and I'm
stages,
not gonna say
what
nobody's
he
watching
referred
my
to as
videos.
a liminal condition.
People are,
That was
I'm
one of
astonished by the people that
ambitions
are watching
for
my
this
videos.
house.
I have
Taking
no idea.
from
Like if you're
the
watching this
approach,
right now,
you see a
just know I
glimpse
love
of
you.
where
I
you're
like-
going to go, and a piece of the house, a kind of
thankful
tease,
for you.
if you will.
when I'm
Then
cutting
you
that turkey
lose sight
tomorrow,
of it. The road bends around, it comes up, it rises, you come back around to the back
View.
side of the house, and you're in a courtyard. Then there is a stair that takes you down to the main level. Then as you come out onto the terrace, as you approach that edge, you can see the water. It is the space between things.
I wonder how much of the land is owned. That I'm curious about.
As you approach the house, the one opening in these two walls is where they intersect. That brick wall, conceptually and literally, slides through the building. If you look carefully, you'll see the garage. That's the top of the garage door. It's a single pane garage door based on an airplane hangar. As you can see on both sides, it's glass all the way through here. This is conceptually a void. The stair needed to be figurative. It needed to be something which did not conform to either geometry. As you come down, you begin for the first time to see the other side of the quarry. Terraces out here, all of that. So you have a sense that this is where the main public floor is. In here then is the room where I think they spend the vast majority of their time. Like many younger families, it's got a great kitchen. It's got a dining area.
Kitchen's okay.
And it has a sitting area. One of two ways in which one talks about building on a sloping site.
A little dark for
the
me.
two ways you do it are
Considering
the cave
that it's
and the promontory.
got all these windows
So
and all
as
this,
we move
this,
from
this
one condition to the other, this end of the room is
light
actually
coming in,
cozy, intimate,
it feels
and then as you move
drab.
farther in,
Maybe that
it
could be the
begins to
lighting from the
reveal
camera.
itself.
I have no idea.
You see that promontory up there, you see the little pathway
Man, that view is
goes down
amazing.
to the dock, and this is the corner that is cantilevered over the edge.
Now he said that
So
it's a
finally,
young
at this
family.
point,
Personally, I'd be
You've got the
scared
waterfall,
as hell
you've got
to have
the
my kids
quarry,
running
you've got that
outside
incredibly
because
beautiful sheer face,
they're
almost
going
like
to want to
Palisades
go
on the other
on the
side.
ridge.
So in some ways, it's a calibrated
I mean, it's
sequence
just natural
of
to want to do that,
reveal
you know.
and
So
of
if
arrival.
you have like small kids, this is
I think
yeah.
it's very important that architecture induce movement. When every
This is a
single
great
room
getaway.
has the same view.
To be honest
really
with
no
you,
reason to move.
this would be
The interiors
an
are
amazing
relatively
Airbnb.
muted, and
Like
there's
if they're not
subtle
using
little
this as an
tropes.
Airbnb,
Like if you look at the lines in those rocks, and
I mean,
you
this
look at
is
the
a
little
great
lines
investment.
in this rug
if you're willing
there's this
to
kind
do
of
an Airbnb.
reference that occurs there. Obviously, this stone and that wall bear some formal relationship. There's also a little tiny balcony up here off of this side. So
That
if you
kind of
have
looks
some
out
friend
of
who smokes
place,
cigars,
except
it's a
for
place where you can
the
stash in.
outside. The outside, it works.
Another thing
but
that we've increasingly done
that
is when you have
maybe
an
could have
open
went with the
kitchen
deck or something
where
like
everyone
that.
is hanging out, I think it's important to have a back kitchen, a part of the kitchen that is out of sight. So looking over that way, you'll see that there is a second sink, a lot of storage. There are dishwashers back there, so you could have a nice meal, all of that, and then put all the aftermath over there and deal with it tomorrow.
I guess.
This can be divided off. You can close off this room more for acoustical reasons than for privacy. This is then the media room.
That's
AKA
kind of strange to have a
the polka
pocket
dot
door
room.
right there, but
It also happens to have.
I mean, this is
A
how
model
his
of the
mind is
house.
working. So
We are right about here now. So you can see from this that the house is actually two boxes. It's this box, which was the garage that had the garage door that's shut. This is the slot that goes through that we came in on. This is then the two-story piece. You can see the topography here and how dramatic this thing drops away.
So it said it was a mansion. This is
Goes back to
not
Livy.
a mansion.
If you read Livy about where the bedrooms go and where the public rooms go at a palazzo, there's a whole passage about how the ground floor is about fortification. The main floor, the piano nobile, where all the public rooms are.
And
The
if
bedrooms
anyone's
are above
wondering
that.
what a mansion,
I think
would
subliminally,
qualify
it has to do
as,
with protection.
depending on where you are, could be 5,000 square feet
This is in
minimum.
the primary bedroom,
and,
which
definitely
has a not bad view.
here in
The
LA,
waterfall, the quarry, the far side.
we consider
One of the
mansions
things we
anything
sometimes
that's
don't take enough thought to
about
is
6,500
the kind of
square feet or
rituals
better.
of getting up in the morning, getting
That
dressed,
would
going
we
to bed at
describe
night,
that as a
packing
mansion.
a suitcase, all of that. A place to toss your clothes in the evening or to lay out what you're going to wear. This is the primary bathroom, which has two little chapels off of it, one of which is the loo, the other of which is the shower. I hate brushing my teeth and looking at myself in the mirror. And I'd much rather stand here and look at that waterfall as I brush my teeth than stare at myself. Two closets.
You gotta have
bet
that
you that
kind of
was
hate
his.
for yourself to not want to
This
look
is
yourself in the
above
mirror.
the fireplace that's in the living room.
Yes,
coming
I get
directly
it.
up.
He's
This
talking
is
about
also
you'd
a
rather
cedar
see the
roof.
view
It's just coming
for
back from the
your
winter.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I
But I
think
mean,
there's
it's
something
it's
magical
two
about the
it's
sound
2
of that
minutes
waterfall.
of brushing
It
your teeth.
eliminates every
Like
piece
you're not
of
gonna.
stray sound.
What are you gonna do?
can
Brush
hear.
your teeth. Put the toothbrush down.
This is the one place
and look
where you
out
can
the
look
window
down
just
into
to
that
just to
little
see the
courtyard.
view. Like
That's the beginning
no.
of a
It'd
trail
be better
that goes around all of the water, comes
the
back to the other
bathtub,
side, has steps
right?
down to the water,
If the
dock, the
bathtub
boat, all
was
of that.
faced
As you may know, a lot of ponds
towards
have
the
little
view.
fountains in them and things like that.
That's something you can
That's to
appreciate.
aerate the water and to prevent
Wait, let's
algae growth
let's
and
look
things
at
of
that because I
sort.
really didn't
The
even
water
like
this is the one place
pay
in the winter.
attention.
It's his. This is
Where's that
a
bathroom?
piece of stray.
Look,
Then waterfall as I brought.
look at this. The tub is right here. The tub is right here. The tub should be closer to this so you can appreciate the nature while you bathe. You could have threw a shower here. Like it's in the middle of nowhere, so you don't have to worry about privacy or anything. So I'm not an architect or an interior designer, but I know enough about houses to where he missed the mark here. He missed the mark here. Let me know if I'm wrong. Do you prefer your 2 minutes of toothbrush where you can see the view, or do you prefer being able to look at the view for an hour and a half while you sit and relax in the bath? Let me know. Am I wrong? Am I overthinking it? I don't even know if we got this far.
This is the one place where you could look down into that little courtyard. That's the beginning of a trail that goes around
That's cool.
all of the water, comes back the other side, has steps down to the water, the dock, the boat, all of that. As you may know, a lot of ponds have little fountains in them and things like that. That's to aerate the water and to prevent algae growth and things of that sort. In this case, we figured out another way of doing it, or David Kelly did, which was to just pump a little piece of the water up to the top and let it come and fall down as a waterfall. It has the other great advantage of
That's cool.
giving a kind of tranquility throughout here.
It's definitely tranquil.
We worked from the beginning.
I wouldn't have not known that that was a man-made waterfall if you wouldn't have said that.
And a partner in Reese Robertson Partners. And working closely with him, there was an idea about vegetation that might initially appear wild. It is something whose color and its texture, it could have been dug out of the quarry and ground into gravel. So it has that kind of local character to it. This is the continuation of that brick wall that was outside. We chose
Not
a brick
really
that
a
was
fan
slightly
of
irregular.
these steps right here.
Outside, brick wall.
Where's that at?
This is the
Yeah, see how these steps are? Because you lose height of the room. Like, notice how this is. Now, obviously, they're not even obviously. I want to say that this is going to be a crawl space. I mean, when you put a step up, you would hope that you're losing space because there's some stuff that needs to go on underneath. But if there's nothing really going on underneath, then they could have just left this on a slab and you have higher ceilings into this bedroom. But yeah.
continuation of that brick wall that was outside. We chose a brick that was slightly irregular. It's not perfectly flat, and it gives a texture to this wall.
I mean, you don't want anything to be flat when you're dealing with that kind of stuff. So I mean, that's not like
the children's rooms
crazy to me.
have window seats. These trees are set here to give a little bit of privacy to these rooms. That's Reese Roberts.
Well, you don't
They designed
say,
these
Steve.
rooms, the furniture, the cool light fixtures.
I mean, this modern glass, floor to ceiling, it's like, I don't know. It looks great. I like
When you're
I
here,
love how it looks
there's a sense of
outside
stability.
more than I
You
love
don't
the
feel like
interior.
you're on
More
top
than,
of a mountain or
like the
something.
interior.
There are other things that
There's
are about the same
quite
height
a few
that you
things
are.
that I probably
By
would
stepping
not even
this
probably.
terrace
It's quite
out
there's a
to
few things that I
follow
would
the
change. Let me
profile
not say
of
quite a
the
few. Like there's a
quarry,
lot. There's a few
we
things
were
I would
able
change.
to lounge here and look at all of that. The dining area over here is probably the one that's the most exposed. I mean, it's the only place that's farther out than that. But, from here, you can actually see the water, the dock.
Again, small kids,
everything.
nightmare.
I also think it's nice to look at the house from here.
Yeah, no,
It's a nice view of
the
the house,
exterior is amazing,
A little
but
biased, probably.
mostly in any modern
What we were
floor
trying to do was
floor to ceiling
eliminate
glass
the boundary between the
homes,
inside and the
where
outside.
that's very
We
primary.
didn't need the window.
It looks great.
to provide a foreground. We worked very hard
been nice
for the
to have
spaces outside of
Some
that, the landscape
sliding
to provide
doors
that foreground.
that
The idea
give
is
it
that
that
perhaps
true
there are no
indoor-outdoor
walls.
flow.
Perhaps you're outside all
I mean,
the
they're
time.
sliding doors, but I don't even know if those doors are sliding or not.
One of the things about our choice to locate the pool over there is because we're trying to distribute the amenities and destinations throughout the site. So this is a very different idea about landscape. May have
So they had a
something
grill.
to do
They
with
had a grill on that
a rock in the
patio, and then
pool
they had the grill
outside
back
of
here.
Rio by Niemeyer.
Pool's okay.
When you're looking at all of those things, the quarry, the promontory, all of that, it's difficult to appreciate how beautiful just being in a woodland is and how magical that is.
No, this is a great location.
If there were two
in terms
advocates for a
of
project
being away
that are
from
my greatest
everything.
ambition. It's for a project to appear effortless, and inevitable. If someone comes over to the house, I would prefer that they not be wowed. I would prefer that they not know who the architect is. I would hope that there would be a kind of ease, serenity, comfort. I would love it if
That was
they
the best
began
part of
to
the whole
notice
video, just
and
listening to
realize there's a lot more there
the
than
nature.
what they can see. I'm sure you've seen films or read books, and you want to see it again, or you want to read it again, or you want to hear it again.
There's so many cool videos that
there's more there,
Architectural
you've
Digest
just
has.
seen
Like,
parts of it.
like this is crazy. All right, so shout out to Steve. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to you, man. Like, like I said, there's a few things personally that, design wise, I would have done differently. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into architectural, design, engineering, things like that. So I can believe that certain things were done for a certain reason. The architect is not usually the designer, so I don't know if he designed the interior. There are a few things, like I said, I would have preferred, like, how he was very proud of this, brushing your teeth and looking at the view, and it's like you're brushing your teeth for 2 minutes max, like two minutes max. So what can you really appreciate within 2 minutes that's just like that's a dominant, or like a feature that sells the house? So yeah, definitely we'll put the tub there. For me, because of having kids, what I would have liked to seen was just to have some glass fencing. Glass fencing would have been spectacular. The quarry's right there, so that would make me feel comfortable. It's like you're not killing off the whole nature aspect. You're just making it safe. No one's saying the ceiling needs to, not the ceiling, but the glass fence needs to be so high, but just enough to stop small children from toppling over. So that would have been nice. All in all, I could rattle on about the few things, but it would be just me like nitpicking, like the whole galley, second kitchen that he was mentioning. It just felt like it didn't fit. It didn't fit the design of the exterior. It just felt wrong. I can explain it a lot better, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. But all in all, beautiful design, architecturally speaking. Location, magnificent in terms of tranquility, appeal. Just what he was aiming for. It's definitely a timeless piece of property. I could see someone in the future definitely changing a few things to make it something, their own. It's not perfect. So I'm, trying to be nice about it. It's not perfect, but it's all in all, it's a great property. If I were grading it on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8.5. I give it an 8.5. And it's mostly due to that tranquility and, you know, the quarry, and they took the time to, you know, put in the waterfall. And then you got that, basically the backyard is, I mean, it's not like a typical backyard. I mean, but it's a backyard, but the yard, you know, just nice open space. That's a place where the kids can go, you know, you can let the kids go play and you don't have to worry about anything. Maybe the pool could have been better, but, you know, mostly my grade is based on the location of the place, and the aesthetic appeal of the exterior. Those few things stop it from being a 10. And I mean, I'm, you know what? Scratch it. I take it back. It's an 8. It's an 8. It's an 8 because I can't stop thinking about the things that I would have done different. And I can't stop thinking about what I've seen other architects do or builders do in the area I live in, that they would have done something better. In my opinion, it's all opinion based. You know, this might be your cup of tea. So, with that said, thank you, Architectural Digest, for an amazing video. We will see you again here. I'm nobody, so all I can ask is that, you know, if you strike the channel, if that's something you're going to do, just message me. I'll take the video down. I'll take the video down. But no, I love you guys. You know what I said I wanted to do last time was, I wanted to look at the comments. So if you're still here, we're gonna look at some comments real quick. So yeah. So Cooper Jean says, having the architect talk about the house is so much more superior than letting a real estate agent talk about a house. Not only is this educational, but it allows me to appreciate the thought, artistry, beauty behind such architecture. Architects speak in much more sophisticated and genteel way than real estate agents, except Linda May. More of these kind of content, please. More of these kind of content, please. Thank you. I had to make sure I read that correctly. More of these kind of content, please. Okay. That is kind of strange. You know, I take some kind of offense to that. You're talking about like real estate agents. Hello, not everybody is the same. You know, like for the most part, he didn't say anything that I wouldn't have conveyed. Like, these are things like, you listen to me talk on the channel. I point stuff out all the time. Okay. Just because I didn't build it, I know how to ask questions to find out what kind of material, what was the inspiration. Actually, I know how to find inspiration from looking at a place myself. If you listen to me talk about any of my listings, if you watch any of my listing videos, which I guess I'll, you know, now that we have the channel, whenever I do my descriptions to the listing video, you guys will get a chance to hear that. But yeah, I take offense to that. Okay, let me stop. I really honestly could care less. As a general contractor, I must say, this is one of the most incredible homes I've ever seen. This is the type of project you go your whole career hoping to build. As a general contractor, you will more than likely just be a part of it, considering that you're not an architect, and, you know, to be the lead GC on something like that will probably be amazing. So I'm with you. I'm with you. You know, as a real estate agent, I mean, probably this wouldn't be my most favorite house. to work on, not because it's like outside or, you know, that you got to drive to it and all this other stuff. Has nothing to do with it, but you know, that is something to also consider. For me, the reason why this would not be one of my favorites is because the house, while the location where it's located, you know, and what it's fixated on, you know, being in nature, as much as I love that, the house did not blow me away. And it just didn't blow me away. And maybe it's because I'm spoiled and, you know, I'm surrounded by these 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, you know, dollar properties where you go into these and it's just like amenity stacked on amenity, and pools are infinity, and you know, like it's just you feel it, and it's not just all about, oh, this super luxury, because personally I'm very, very minimalist when it comes to certain stuff. So that's why I like the concrete floor. Like, I know I didn't point it out, but the concrete floor, I appreciate stuff like that. I like that concrete floor more than I could like any hardwood or marble. Like, I like minimalism. So, you know, but like I said, for me, this is the kind of home that I would go on my whole career, you know, would love to represent, is something, you know, above this. But with that said, I would love to have a listing like this. It would be one of my more cherished listings. So let me go ahead and say that, so it doesn't sound like I'm just crapping on the house. All right, last comment that we're going to read. This might be one of the rare cases where the architect truly gives justice to his art with storytelling. Such a beautiful perspective we all got the pleasure to listen to. Wrapped up the music videography. Got to make sure I'm reading that right, because it just, that doesn't. Anyway. Wrapped up the music, videography, and of course the house. What a masterpiece in every way. And that's from Chris de la Pena. Chris de la Pena, let me tell you something, my brother. Let me tell you something, my brother. Use Grammarly. This, and by the way, this video is not sponsored. No, I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. But no. Again, I mean, look, I appreciate the fact that the architect took the time to go over, you know, small details, you know, but it's from someone who does pay attention to details. There wasn't really anything that he said that was just that phenomenal to where it's like you have this true insight as to what went into the design, right? What made him draw up, you know, his plans a certain way. Like, again, this is a great video. And Steve, it's still a masterpiece. Just because I'm saying what I'm saying as far as design wise, I think there's a few things that are left to be desired, doesn't take away the fact that it's a masterpiece. Like, it's a masterpiece. You take a photo of that, you hang it in you know, on a wall. Like, that's a piece of artwork. Like, you get a drone shot of that, you get like a certain angle, like that is a picture perfect home. Exterior wise, for sure. Like, if I'm just going off the exterior, 10, okay, 10. And I'm gonna end the video with that. We're not gonna, no buts, no howevers. In the video with that. Picture perfect house. So, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I love you. And see you next time. Partners.